Hey everyone, my name is Miss Sandy. Welcome to my channel. And today's video, I'm going to share a little background history of where my journey began with mental illness. It's not an easy video to share, mostly because it's something we don't like talking about, right? And because of the stigma that I believe still exists, that's attached to mental illness. However, this channel is largely about living the day-to-day life with mental illness, chronic pain, and or physical limitations. And so obviously it is necessary for me to share my experiences with you, even the bad and the ugly and the not so pretty stuff. And another reason that I feel like it's really important is because, I mean, I could be any mojo on the road, off the street, who decides, oh, I want to make a YouTube video and I want to talk about a bunch of stuff I know nothing about. Right? I mean, you can be anyone online. And so I wanted to share this, and it'll probably be shared in parts because it's just easier to digest that way. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I've been to several doctors. I've had several doctors. I've had several therapists. But I'm not in the medical field at all. All I'm doing is sharing my experience and my story and my journey with you. And I'm inviting you into my world and my crazy roller coaster of a life, in hopes that maybe you'll find a little inspiration. Maybe you'll find some encouragement or hope. And maybe you're not familiar with mental illness, and it'll give you a little deeper understanding of some of what we go through when we're struggling with mental illness or chronic pain or physical limitations. That's basically all I am. I'm a normal person sharing my life story with you. Wait, did I say normal? I'm as normal can be. How's that? I really don't know how to start this except to just kind of jump right in. There's no way of making this experience look better than what it was. It's not possible. So I'm going to jump in, and hopefully this all will make sense. In August of 2010, I had a complete psychological break. I mean complete. I lost everything. This event changed my life forever. It turned my world upside down. I lost everything. I mean, literally everything, as far as being able to function. I lost my memory from anything from 2010 backwards. I lost it. It's gone. It's like looking in a black hole, like you're looking in a black hole that goes on forever and ever and ever, and all there is blackness. There's nothingness. It's empty. Um, I lost my ability to drive. I lost my ability to go to stores. I lost my ability to live alone. I couldn't be around people. I couldn't go where there were large crowds. I couldn't fill out forms. I couldn't answer questions. I couldn't hold a conversation. And then on top of all of that, I had what I call the crazies. And the crazies are literally two little people that sit on your shoulders and they're going, yep, 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 yep. And the other one's going, yep, 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 yep. And you have all of these voices coming at you nonstop, just bombarding your brain with all these voices that are saying horrible, horrible, horrible things to you. Plus you have the chaotic thoughts going around and round in your head. And it's kind of like they just go on and on and on. And so when you hear people talk about little people that sit on your shoulder and whisper or scream things to you, it's really true, and it's an accurate representation of what it's kind of like. To give you an idea of how bad I was at the time, I was in the hospital, and I had good insurance at the time, but I was in the hospital, and 3 times the hospital tried to get me into the psychiatric hospital, and all 3 times I was rejected. They rejected it because of liability. My big thing is, and my thing I always say is, how does the mental get rejected by the mental? I mean, And can they do that? Yeah, they can. They can refuse to admit you if they feel they don't have the ability to handle you, basically. So with all of this going on, and the hospital releases me to my 2 sons that were with me in Colorado at the time. It was, I believe one was 16 and one was 15. Now how in God's green earth are 2 teenagers gonna know how to deal with someone who's not there? I was basically a shell of a person. My body was there, my mind was gone, and yet they sent me home with 2 kids. And most of this that I'm sharing with you, again, is because it's what my kids have shared with me and or people that were around me at the time. So my oldest son came and picked me up. I have no memory of it. Brought me to North Texas, made an appointment with the clinic with a psychiatrist, and let me tell you, I have been to a lot of doctors, and I'll just say there are good doctors and there are some really, really bad doctors. I've had mostly really good doctors. However, I have had two doctors that were the worst. Absolutely horrible. And she was one of them. She did kind of get me started on meds. She didn't come close to getting me stable. I had two caseworkers that came. One came once a week for medication control, and the second one came, I believe, twice a week for years, like for 2 to 3 years, every single week. About 2 years after my break, my caseworker told me that the doctor gave me 0% chance of recovery. Say what? The doctor gave me probably better with this hand, 0% chance of recovery. Oh, I'd love to walk into that doctor's office today because I have recovered a lot. Not my memory, but a lot. I drive. I hold conversations. I can go to the stores most of the time. I can live by myself. I can fill out forms. I can answer questions, etc., etc., etc. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It's taken years, like a lot of years. It's taken a lot of hard work. It's taken a bunch of therapy. And the therapy wasn't the kind that goes back in your past. The therapy is mostly learning coping skills on being able to function by using coping skills. And that has helped tremendously. So I would love to go back to that doctor and walk in her office and say, I'm the person you gave 0% chance of recovery. So people, there is hope. No matter what your situation is, no matter where you might be in your struggle with mental illness, no matter where you may be with dealing with chronic pain or physical limitations, there's always hope. As long as we're breathing, as long as we wake up in the morning, we have hope. And I'm going to share just a little bit real quick about my memory loss, because losing my memory really bothered me. And for the longest time, I really wanted to remember things from the past. I mean, who was I? What was my life like? And like I said, over the last couple of years, I'm starting to get tidbits back. My kids share the different stories and different things that have happened. But for the most part, there's years and years and years of just blackness. I'm 61 years old, by the way, so that's how come there's years and years and years. And I went to a therapist, or was seeing a therapist at about 7 years post-break. And that therapist, I told her, I can't remember anything. And she told me this: the mind protects you from the things you cannot handle. The mind protects you from things you cannot handle. Don't go there. Leave it in the past. Leave it there. Forget it. I already have forgotten it. That's the point. But just leave it. Because your mind is protecting you from things you can't handle. Interestingly enough, went to my doctor, my medical doctor, 2 days ago. I think today's Wednesday, I went Monday. And we were discussing my mental health, where I was at, some things I'm going through. And I was telling her about still having massive time or years of just blackness with my memory. And it's so interesting. The very first words out of her mouth was, "Don't go there. Leave it there. It's in the past. You don't need to know. And just focus on today." Wow. Now I know this doctor doesn't know that therapist. There's no way. And yet they both said the same thing. And I really needed that reminder, right? So, maybe there's something in your past that you just need to kind of let go. We can't change the past. Even if I remembered certain things, I wouldn't be able to change it. We can apologize if we've hurt someone. We can try to make things right if we've done someone wrong. But as far as changing what happened, we have no ability to do that. We're not even guaranteed tomorrow. We're not even really guaranteed the next 5 minutes, right? So all we have is right now. And so maybe there are things that you just need to leave in the past. You need to let it go. I know I need to be comfortable with, I don't need to know it, because the mind protects us from things we can't handle. I'm going to end right there for today, but I really would like to hear from you. Do you think there is still a stigma attached to mental illness or to someone who is mentally ill? Do you think that there is a stigma attached to someone who is mentally ill? Or do you think people look at someone who is mentally ill or struggles with mental illness differently? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. If you've liked this video, and please click the like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification button. That way you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, be safe and be blessed.